Hi and welcome. I'm Susan Blaine. I'm here with Angella Goran, my buddy.
Hello.
And super athlete. She's the founder and team captain, and I call you a super athlete, of ATHLETICA And she's also training right now for the 1 hour indoor cycling record. That's going to be next summer. She's also a 3-time national athlete in rowing, triathlon, and cycling. So you see what I mean about being a super athlete. Hi, welcome to Sharing with Susan B, telling stories from the heart. We're looking to inspire, telling stories of struggle, vulnerability, and lessons learned. When you were a little girl, you loved large animals and you were thinking about being a large animal vet or sports medicine. You grew up in BC, you were born in Winnipeg.
Yes.
You came to Ottawa in your 20s. Your first official job was McDonald's. I hear it's really good training there.
Great training.
You bartered, I love the fact that you bartered riding lessons for equestrian stable maintenance.
Yes.
Because you loved horses and still do. You have an honors degree in political science and a minor in psychology. Your first business you started in 2009, Sock Jock, which was a social enterprise, and that's when we met.
That's hard. Yes.
Yeah.
That's when we met.
And I've got a couple of their socks. They're awesome. Should have worn them today.
I know. Little puppets.
Volunteer, you've done a lot too, and most of your volunteering is around sports, which makes sense. You volunteer at a lot of sporting events here locally in Ottawa. You've been an athlete ambassador for the Foundations of the Stars, and did some work for Can Fund while raising funds for your goal. And you mentor other startups as well.
Yes.
But a real part, which I love, a real part of your company's DNA is corporate social responsibility. That's like the foundation,
It's the root.
right?
Yeah.
Sock Jock, it was the sock sales that funded great causes. ATHLETICA is also another business now that is able to change the way that sport is funded in Canada and the US. So tell us a little bit more about this new venture, ATHLETICA.
The new venture, ATHLETICA Awards, honestly, it came out of, again, a passion project, right? Bike Ride Across Canada, which was built around the sock company, gave birth to an unbelievable technology company. And for those that know me like yourself, honestly, I always joke and I say I never thought I would get into technology, and here I am with insurance and finance. So complete opposite of what I ever would think about doing. But yeah, passion project, I saw a need to, being somebody who's been active in sport, look at the means for insurance and protection and coverage. Yeah. There were so many parents when I was biking across Canada for kids, not asking about what the thing was around the actual cause, which was outdoor education programs. It was bike safety. And it really struck me as a message that, wow, like there's something missing from the marketplace when it comes to education around how to keep people safe on the roads. And as I dug a little deeper, guess what? Seems that there's a lot of people out there doing awesome sports and they don't have the right coverage. So it started that conversation, and to give you the quick synopsis, 6 years later, because of licensing and compliance as you get into those wonderful worlds of insurance and finance, created a technology platform that the carriers will actually work with us to be able to promote these products of insurance through. So ATHLETICA Rewards.
That's ATHLETICArewards.com.
The big thing being somebody who started a company from scratch with socks, not ever being somebody with retail. This wonderful big push that we have, and especially Canada, is about mentorship and advisory. When I started Sock Jock, over 10 years ago, there was no accelerators, there was no incubators that we had to support startups. There's no help. No. Right? You kind of had to surround yourself. So how was I going to take flight? Like, I had this great idea. I really had a foundation about giving back. I wanted to have something, and I had this group of great people come around and surround me, and I got the plane to the tarmac. But it's like, okay, well, how do you get to that next level? And I'm noticing the same thing with my tech company. There's so much acceleration to get a company's idea created, but then there's this missing area, and that's what we talked about of, hey, the plane's now been built, it's sitting on the tarmac, and now it's got to take off. And everybody that wants to get that product or that idea off the ground, they already want it to be in the air. They don't want to know if it's not going to make it in the air. And that's the scary part for a lot of startups, and it's a real struggle. It's that ask to somebody, hey, will you invest and give me capital so I can...
It's the money.
It's the money.
It's the money,
It's
right?
a big thing, And
people love the idea, but do they love it enough to take the money out of their pocket and support it,
and support it,
and fuel it.
And fuel it.
Right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Fuel the plane. The plane's got to get off the tarmac and it's got to take flight.
It needs fuel or nothing happens.
Nothing
right?
happens.
So that's a really big struggle. And I know
Yeah.
you've been working really hard and you've been successful now at attaining it, but I know it's been a struggle.
Yeah.
We tried to schedule this so many times, but she was like, I got to meet investors. I got to go here. I got to go there. But
Yeah.
you know, I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
What about what some of the things that you've learned from this struggle that's been going on for a while?
Yeah, you know what? I think the biggest thing about, you know, looking and addressing the struggle right in the eye is the fact that you are your own person when it comes to the idea that you have, and you have to create that passion and keep pushing it forward. It's that persistence, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the athletic metaphor is like never give up. If you fall, you get right back up. You dust those knees off and you keep going. And the entrepreneurship world's very similar. And yeah, I think just like anything, there are people out there to support, and you just keep trying. And as long as you keep believing in that, you know, I think that's the biggest force for myself, is that persistence and realizing that that struggle is real. You can't ignore it. But I think the nice thing is as you start to ask for help and you start to surround yourself with the right people, the help is there. You ask, right?
Yeah.
That vulnerability, showing it, is something that, yeah.
It's like it creates this void, and people just want to come in to support you when you're brave enough to, you know, show that vulnerability. And I think as an athlete, you really have that persistent mentality and mindset already.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about personal struggle, because life isn't without that, and it often has this domino effect in the things that we do, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's been your biggest personal struggle.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is being over persistent and determined, and you know, that struggle about being perfect, right? And I think perfectionism, right? And I think whether
it's a trap,
it's a total trap. And we talked about that, right, where it was like there's a positive to it, but there's a negative reinforcement. And a lot of people behind the scenes, I always kind of joke to my partner at home that if we could film ourselves as entrepreneurs on a daily basis, people would actually see how real it is when you're going through those hard days where, like, you got to pay your employees the next day and you're going, oh my gosh, I have to dip into my own personal savings. Like they have to keep working. Or how many times you haven't paid yourself as the founder of a company, but it's like, yeah, you're the last one on that meal list.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is it's that fear of support, right? Who's going to take care of you? There's no security, you know. You talk about insurance.
Insurance, yeah.
Right? You don't have that as an entrepreneur, right?
We don't get the same government support that you would if you're an employee of a company, right? So you really, where's your pension plan? Where's your savings? You're really reliant on really being savvy, like having the right advisor. Because you get to a certain stage where, you know, what else you've put all your investment into a company, and hopefully that takes off.
Well,
right?
it will.
Yeah.
It will,
Thank you.
and it is. I know it. So what have you learned, sort of, you know, I know we were talking about you feel your way through it, you know, and follow your guide, follow your guts, which you've done, and it's serving you well. Even though you have those moments of fear, right? You got to keep pushing through. Get back on that bicycle.
But get back on the bicycle. Yeah.
Push through. And
no pun.
And you've learned how to listen to your intuition.
Yeah.
You were saying when you were younger, you didn't have that confidence. But,
I think that's exactly it. I think when you're, you know, as you mature and you start to learn those lessons that come with being in business or just personally, is that ability to also say, like, perfect doesn't mean perfect the way it did when it was like 20 or 30 years old. It's, you know, I look at I entered a new decade right now in my life. I love being 40. I have no problem saying that, because I take all the best things I learned in my 20s and my 30s, put it in a blender.
Oh yeah.
And it comes out, and it's just this ability to be like super brave about what the opportunity is and not being fearful of that.
Because you can trust yourself. You trust yourself enough to know that you can handle what comes at you, because you have a history of doing that, right?
Exactly.
I love that too. Wait till you get to your 50s. It's even better.
Woo! I'm ready. I'm ready.
So what advice would you give your younger self? Or like younger athletes and people just starting out?
You know what? I think I always stick to that idea of, like, believe in yourself a little bit more. I think we often fail our own intuition, right? Coming back to what we just spoke on, is being able to, like, truly look at who you are and where you're going, and trust that you know yourself. Yeah. You know, I always, the Socks in School program, our biggest thing is we're for purpose. What's your purpose? The why factor. Yeah. So I'm like going, the younger you are in life and you can figure out what your why is and why you're here, you've got your life planned, right? Like what better way to exit this world knowing that you individually conquered everything that you were here to do because you knew your why.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, I heard recently a really interesting thing about the why, that it's an acronym for WHY. What hurt you
Oh, wow.
is what drives you.
Interesting.
Think
I
about
like
that.
that. I really like that.
Yeah, me too. How about some fun rapid fire questions? You
Okay.
can learn some fun things about Angela.
Oh, gosh.
Who's your favorite superhero?
Oh my gosh, superhero for myself. I know, like Wonder Woman kind of comes to
Kinda look like
mind.
her
I'm
today.
like, yeah, I love Wonder Woman. It's like there's that in She-Ra, Princess of Power.
Oh, yes.
Like going back to kind of like growing up as a little girl, there was He-Man and She-Ra, and She-Ra was kind of like there was those kind of superheroes for me.
I love
so,
it.
yeah.
Favorite food indulgence?
Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna laugh at this. I said it when I biked across Canada. Animal cookies.
Animal cookies. I love those.
I love animal cookies.
Someone you admire.
My grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something not too many people know about you, that she loves animal cookies.
Yeah, I love animal cookies, but I always kind of fascinating. I always like to say like I was raised on Vancouver Island most of my life, and I actually have a birthmark that literally is Vancouver Island on my thigh. Like it's
Really?
this little right there.
Wow.
You can't see it with the camera, but it literally looks like Vancouver Island. So it's this joke that I was meant to grow up on the West
So
Coast.
next time you see her in shorts, check it out.
Check it out. There you go. Yep.
How about a favorite movie, book, or quote?
Favorite book, I think so many entrepreneurs will agree with me on this one, 4-Hour Work Week, How to Balance Your Life. You can't go wrong with that. Favorite quote that I love is be brave to believe, and stronger than you seem, and think smarter than you are. And it's by Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, that's awesome. What's something that always makes you smile?
Oh my gosh, I love Peanuts, Snoopy.
Aw.
And I always think about when I'm having a hard day, believe it or not, my grandma used to always love Calvin and Hobbes and Peanuts as a cartoon in the Saturday newspapers.
Yeah.
And Peanuts always has like these great like teamwork and what you're doing. So I have in my office, I have these little pictures of all the Peanuts characters doing crazy things. So there you go.
Makes you smile. What's your
makes me smile.
definition of success in one sentence?
Definition of success is, for me, it is that definition of understanding who you are and believing in yourself, your why.
Angella Goran, thank you so much for
Thanks.
being here today. You can check her out at athleticarewards.com. She's on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I follow her all the time. She's got some really fun posts, and she really takes you along her journey, in her athletic journey. So tune into her. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
It's been an awesome blast. Thank you so much.